For over 2 decades, the theatrical cuts of the wizarding world have dictated global pop culture, shaping the collective memory of an entire generation. But beneath the flashing cinematic special effects and the grand orchestral scores lies a massive corporate web of narrative cover-ups, omitted plot histories, and systematic character executions. Welcome to the Potter Audit. This platform does not exist to celebrate Hollywood hype, nor does it operate on casual movie nostalgia. This is an independent forensic review of the original literary text canon. As our systematic countdown to the winter production parameters narrows, our single objective is absolute factual reconstruction. We are dissecting the vital rules, dark philosophies, and gritty realities that Warner Bros. Was too afraid to film. The forensic files are officially open. The audit begins now. The historical loop reveals that Voldemort's ultimate defeat was only possible due to deep institutional secrets hidden inside the Department of Mysteries, a dark sector Hollywood completely sanitized. In the original text, the Ministry houses a terrifying glass tank filled with living human brains floating in an aggressive chemical solution. These thoughts are not abstract concepts. They are volatile, biological entities. When touched, they weaponize thought aggression, launching physical tendrils that wrap around targets to suffocate them, leaving permanent corrosive mental scars. The cinematic universe reduced this facility to a generic room of breaking crystal spheres, hiding the literal physical lethality of weaponized human consciousness. Weaponized human consciousness was further explored through Broken Minds at St. Mungo's Hospital, where the movies erased the most tragic room in wizarding history. In the original text, Frank and Alice Longbottom are not just tragic photographs. They reside permanently in the long-term psychiatric ward, completely destroyed by the Cruciatus curse. Neville must visit his hollow, non-verbal parents, who can only recognize him by passing empty candy wrappers to his hand. By scrubbing this entire clinical institution, Hollywood completely whitewashed the visceral, long-term human cost of the dark wizarding wars. This sanitization created a superficial landscape that the upcoming television adaptation must aggressively correct. To aggressively correct this superficial landscape, HBO executives are pouring significant capital into specialized world building, as corporate updates reveal. Internal financial leaks confirm that the upcoming television adaptation has allocated a massive portion of the Season 4 production budget exclusively to the historical Goblin rebellions. Production sheets disclose that the design team is rejecting cheap digital models in favor of heavy, practical creature effects and realistic medieval weapons. Unlike the films, which presented Goblin society as a generic banking background joke, the network is framing their history as a brutal class struggle against ministry discrimination. This financial commitment establishes a highly sophisticated baseline, drawing a hard operational boundary that completely exposes the shallow foundation of the lower-class economy. The shallow foundation of the lower-class economy was explicitly structured around the institutional erasure of squibs, whom the ministry systematically scrubbed from society. In the original text, children born into magical families without magical ability are treated as severe biological embarrassments. The ministry maintains no official records for them, pushing these individuals into a marginalized underclass. While some are quietly integrated into the Muggle world, others are retained for basic domestic servitude, operating without legal rights or union representation. Hollywood completely wiped this dark class warfare from the films, painting the wizarding world as a flawless meritocracy, a false illusion that directly obscured the political background of the global conflict. The political background of the global conflict reached its peak during Dumbledore's funeral, a massive state event where Hollywood completely sanitized the political tributes. In the original text, the headmaster's burial is not a brief, silent sequence with wands raised. It is a massive gathering of international factions. The mer people break the lake's surface to sing a chilling, non-human funeral dirge, while the centaur herd blocks the forest edge, firing a massive volley of arrows to honour the fallen wizard. By completely cutting this funeral, the films destroyed the vital evidence of Dumbledore's deep, interspecies global alliances, an ideological failure that directly impacted the true layout of child casting. The true layout of child casting is precisely why the new television network is enforcing a severe structural lock on contracts, as corporate leaks reveal. Internal talent agency logs confirm that HBO is mandating a rare 10-year exclusivity commitment for the incoming Golden Trio roles. Unlike traditional short-term series options, which allow aging actors to renegotiate or exit, this legal structure forces strict scheduling compliance through the decade-long production pipeline. The network is explicitly protecting itself against the sudden structural disruptions that fractured the movie timeline. This corporate lock guarantees generational stability, carving an ironclad operational boundary that highlights the unprecedented corporate confinement of modern network talent. The grim reality of domestic servitude was brutally epitomized by Argus Filch, a bitter squib whose canonical torture demands were sanitized by Hollywood. In the original text, the castle caretaker is not a harmless comedic background extra. Filch is a deeply sadistic individual who openly advocates for the immediate restoration of medieval corporal punishment. The books explicitly state that he keeps polished iron chains and shackles hanging inside his office, constantly begging the headmaster for legal clearance to suspend rule-breaking students from the dungeon ceilings by their ankles. The films completely erased this dark institutional horror, obscuring the true physical danger of the final betrayal. The final betrayal of the Marauders Circle was completely gutted by filmmakers when they deleted Peter Pettigrew's graphic canonical execution. In the original text, Voldemort's servant does not quietly collapse from a comedic stun spell in Malfoy Manor. The books explicitly state that when Pettigrew hesitates to murder Harry out of a brief flash of mercy, his own artificial silver hand turns against him. The enchanted metal prosthesis, seeded with a lethal failsafe by Voldemort, locks onto Pettigrew's throat and ruthlessly strangles him to death. Hollywood completely erased this dark, poetic justice, hiding the absolute merciless tyranny of the ultimate dark wizarding empire. The forensic files for this specific case study are officially closed, but our systematic countdown to the winter launch continues to accelerate. The historical text canon holds thousands of hidden secrets, structural plot holes, and corporate alterations that must be brought into the light before the cameras roll. To secure your administrative clearance for our upcoming weekly intelligence briefings, tap the subscribe button on your screen right now. Ensure you explore our archive of daily shorts to trace the complete, unbroken timeline of movie alterations. Do not let Hollywood dictate the boundaries of your law. Stay vigilant. The audit never sleeps.